Described Vice President Kamala Harris as a progressive. She has previously supported Medicare for all. Now she does not. She's previously supported a ban on fracking. Now she does not. These, Senator, are ideas that you have campaigned on. Do you think that she is abandoning her progressive ideals?
No, I don't think she's abandoning her ideals. I think she's trying to be pragmatic and doing what she thinks is right in order to win the election. My own view is slightly different. I think that in America today, there are a lot of people, rural people, working class people, who no longer believe that the United States Congress and government represents their interests.
I think she's been crystal clear on her values, what she wants to fight for, and how she will do it. And also, you know, she talks to people. Right? She's reaching out to me. She's reaching out to businesses.
She hasn't talked to the press, Gina. I mean, I know you're a surrogate, but the American people are frustrated. The media is frustrated at the amount of access anyone's gotten to her for the past 41 days. I know you've seen that. We're finally going to have a debate tomorrow night, but she sat down for one interview that was taped and then cut down, and certain little things came out from it. But it has been a master class in avoiding any questions, and nothing's been made clear by her. Maybe it's been made clear in dribs and drabs from her policymakers when it comes out in print or on off a teleprompter at one of her scripted speeches. She's been impossible to pin down on anything because she hasn't given any access. The American people deserve it. Wouldn't you agree?
Yes, and I hear you.
I want to talk a little bit of how I was vindicated about Kamala Harris's pending collapse. Anyone who has been familiar with Kamala Harris, anyone who's been looking at her campaign 2019, can notice that she's doing the same thing she did 2019. The only difference is she has the entire party, the media supporting her. This is why one of the videos that I made, which is Kamala's pending campaign collapse. I made this 7 days a week ago. I put in the end that Kamala is a machine candidate, right? And for how former staffers revealed concerns in a January 2024 book, right? And then you had a bunch of people, right? Not a bunch of people, but just one guy, right? And this is also another thing I noticed when I made my prediction, is that young men care about the economy more, while young women seem to care about abortion more. So to me, it's like, okay, you're going to pigeonhole yourself, right, to just a female vote. That means the men vote are the votes that are up for grabs, especially the white male vote. Because in 2020, and I'm showing my receipts, in 2020, there was an article from the New York Times, if I remember correctly, or the Wall Street Journal, one of those news outlets, that detailed how Trump lost the election because he lost support with white males. And I made numerous arguments on this channel. Some people try to frame me like, oh, you cooning for the white man. I'm like, no, I'm just stating facts. End of the day, I'm stating facts. If white males support Trump, he wins the election. And this is what this debate is going to be about. It's about the white male. And not the white males only, everyone else, obviously in America, but I'm just saying the vote that is more up for grabs is the white vote, the white male vote, right? They're still like, they're choosing between not voting or voting. That's the vote. That's the vote that's still up for grabs. I'm assuming 66% of single women will vote for Kamala Harris. Married women might be half. This is why you got single moms online trying to pressure married women to secretly vote for Harris, right? I mean, I'm just saying, this is the electorate we got going on today. And this is why I'm saying that Kamala Harris got nothing to stand on. She's not the change candidate. She lost that to Donald Trump. And this is why I see the debate. This is why I said it's Trump's debate to lose. I expect Trump to just hold her accountable for administration, and that seems to be his plan, according to reports, right? Another thing that's helping Trump is the fact that he's making health a political issue. He's running on there. There's a movement happening. How Trump's alliance with RFK is winning over wellness influencers. Wellness influencers have some of the biggest following online. And the fact that Trump and RFK are combining together on that issue to make America healthy again, that is a great message. I don't know how you think a Dick Cheney, Liz Cheney endorsement is supposed to rival an RFK endorsement when RFK was bringing an issue that has not been ran on in politics since I don't know who. Maybe his uncle JFK. This is the type of thing we're talking about. Democrats want to pretend that they're the change agent, but they have not bring anything innovative to the table. All of it is more of the same, and the polls show it. Let's take a look at this clip.
What Kamala Harris is trying to do here is really bizarre, which is she's trying to run as the change candidate. She's trying to treat Donald J. Trump like he is the incumbent president. And that's utterly disconnected from reality. She is the current administration. And normally the way VPs run is they say, hey, we did a great job. The president did a great job. Let's continue the successes of the administration I was the VP in. Well, the problem is Biden and Harris, their policy record is a complete train wreck. And so you look at her convention speech, you look at that interview, the entire time she's saying, well, I would do this to secure the border. It's like, well, if you would do that, why don't you do that? You're in charge right now today. And so everything she's saying she would do, the way I would put it is actions speak louder than words. We know what she'll do on the border because she's been border czar for 4 years, and we've had 11.5 million people invade this country because she refuses to enforce the law. We know what she'll do on energy because she and Joe Biden have been in charge for 4 years, and they've waged a war on energy that has driven the cost of gasoline and everything else through the roof. And so I hope tomorrow night in the debate that Trump really prosecutes her record versus his record, because on almost every measure, the lives of the American people were much better when Trump was president. We had a Republican Senate and a Republican House than they are now under the Biden-Harris record.
And I would just advise him to answer all questions going back to one core issue. If you want change, I am the change. If you want change on the economy, I am the change. If you want change on the border, I am the change. And she's out here. The only change she is changing all of her positions in a craven effort to try to make you think she's not some kind of radical liberal. So I wouldn't take the bait from a question. I wouldn't take the bait from her. I would just bring it all back to one core issue. This is how he wins. People are not happy with the current administration. She is in the current administration. She represents a continuation of the same. So anything that you do that gets off that track is really a lost minute or a lost 10 minutes or however long it takes you to do it. So my advice is stick with change, and you'll be all right. She does. She's going to have a lot of explaining to do, and that's really what Trump has to do as part of his strategy. Try to let her unwind all of her past positions that she ran on before, and let her unwind on all the things she helped Joe Biden do, which, of course, caused the American people to sour on this administration. Look, it's a change election, and so if you're Trump and you're looking at some of the recent polling, like in the New York Times, you're already seen as the change agent. The goal of this debate is for people to turn off the TV and say, yep, I want change, and Trump represents that change that I need on the economy, on immigration, or whatever your most important issue is. Those will be the top two that he should be focused on. So it's really staying focused on that core mission. She's more of the same, I'm change, and however he gets from A to B, that's the strategy he needs to go for.
Couple that with the fact that Donald Trump is the most popular he's ever been in his previous 2 campaigns. How are you tracking this, Kenny? His approval ratings, right? And I wanted to highlight something else as well with the mainstream media. As you know, ABC, right? Breaking ABC coverage of Kamala Harris is 100% positive, while their coverage of Trump is 93% negative. Imagine that. Imagine that handicap that Donald Trump has. Like, this is why I said Trump is the change candidate. Kamala's more of the same. You want to go back to establishment politics? You want to go back to government's not doing anything for its people and merely using the people as pawns to their game for political power and control? You vote Democrat. You want to maintain the bureaucracy in government? You vote Democrat. You don't want to fix solutions, instead make the problems become the running issues and they have an incentive to maintain these problems? You vote Democrat. You vote for Kamala Harris. But if you want something to get done, you want someone to actually attempt to fix these things, bring in people from different political backgrounds to come together and actually fix the issues that we all agree on, you vote Donald Trump. That is a contrast Donald Trump has to make in the debate tonight. Also detailing the fact that Kamala Harris has to face up to her past positions because she's been so unclear. And if you get the messaging that I'm trying to get at, or I'm trying to make a case for, is that if Kamala remains vague at the end of this debate, in my view, she loses the election. That's the argument I'm trying to go for. That's why I led in with the intro. She hasn't been clear. She hasn't been giving media access to people. Bernie Sanders himself said that she didn't really change her values. She's just being more pragmatic. What did that mean? It means she's just trying to act like she's in the middle, when in reality, she's a progressive trying to pretend to be a moderate. and this is the stain on Kamala Harris from me as an independent voter, is that I can't trust her. She's vague. She's unclear. I don't know much about her. While Trump, I know everything about Trump. I know all his faults, all his weaknesses, all his negative personalities, and I'm making an informed decision to vote for Donald Trump because I already know him. Most people know Trump already. We know what we're getting for him. We experienced 4 years of his presidency already. So everything, all this fear mongering about him being a threat to democracy, it might have worked 2016. It looked like it worked 2020, but it ain't working 2024. Because we got the candidate that was supposed to protect us from democracy, Joe Biden, and look at our lives now. You punished us for that already, Democrats, and we're not going to reward you for that again. That's how I'm thinking as a voter. But let's take a look at this clip from CNN.
Tonight, Kamala Harris releasing details of her policy positions for the first time on her campaign website. A K-file investigation has uncovered, meantime, a 2019 questionnaire. And in this questionnaire, Harris laid out some much more liberal stances, among them on immigration. So in 2019, in what K-File found, she said she would cut funding to ICE, writing, quote, "Our immigrant detention system is out of control, and I believe we must end the unfair incarceration of thousands of individuals, families, and children. I was one of the first senators after President Trump was elected to advocate for a decrease in funding to ICE." Well, now, of course, she's touting the Biden.
Now, defunding ICE right now it will be seen in the same light as defunding the police. Watch. That's it. That's the reality. Because at the end of the day, we don't have this sympathy for Americans when they do something wrong, when they break laws, when they do reckless driving, and we put them in jail. No one's having, oh my God, you're separating Americans from their children. No one's doing that crap. But illegals, they getting that privilege. This is the special treatment that Democrats love to give illegals because they see illegals as, oh, look, we're importing votes into America. So when you change your framing and you look at it like that, like, hey, Democrats see these illegals as Democrat voters, it makes sense why they're giving them so much special treatment. It makes sense why they're going into budget shortfalls by $982 million. Chicago, I'm looking at you. Eric Adams in New York, he went, $10 billion in a deficit to keep these illegals in this country when it would have been cheaper just to deport them. This is why a majority of Americans agree with mass deportation. Who's running on that issue? Donald Trump. But Kamala Harris is like, we're not going back. You're more of the same. You're in power right now, Kamala. But we're not going back. If you vote for Kamala, you want to go back. That's the reality. I digress. Let's CNN talk.
Administration's executive order to crack down on the border. K-File's Andrew Kaczynski joins me now. Andrew, that's pretty incredible on its own when you're talking about what you found here on ICE. What else did you find?
Yeah, and this was a questionnaire that she filled out for the ACLU, and this questionnaire is really an interesting snapshot in time of that 2019 Democratic primary. Kamala Harris was trying to get to the left of Bernie Sanders. She was trying to get to the left of Elizabeth Warren, and you really see that in a lot of these answers. And I want to walk our viewers through a little bit of what she said. Let's just take immigration and look at what she said here. She said on immigration, she made this open-ended pledge to end immigrant detention. She said she supported taxpayer-funded gender transition surgeries for detained migrants. She also said she supported
taxpayer-funded gender transition surgeries.
I mean, but Kamala's on a flip-flopper. Has she given an articulate answer for why she changed her positions from these 5 data points right here, these 5 points right here as her candidate when she was running 2019? No. She only gave 1 interview. Trump gave 34 interviews and a press conference. Trump's doing interviews all over the place. It don't matter what the media, internet, social, mainstream. Your candidate who only had 3 months to run, she's doing less work than the candidate that had years to run. Like, make it make sense. But these are the excuses that Harris supporters give their candidate, and they wonder why their vote's not respected. I'll continue.
For detained migrants. She
migrants.
actually said she supported that.
She both wrote and answered in the affirmative when she was asked this. Oh. And she said she also supported it for federal prisoners. Now, she also pledged to slash immigration detention by 50%, close all family and private facilities, and decrease funding for ICE, and then the end ICE detainers with local law enforcement.
But you wonder why she was in charge of immigration and how immigration got so bad under her watch, right? And I want to highlight another thing that I find like one of the main reasons I'm not going to vote for Kamala Harris is the fact that many people, right, many black people, good or bad, I don't care how you see it. I'm just highlighting what I have observed online and how people are reacting to Kamala Harris, right? Is the fact that they see her as an Indian woman playing the sassy black woman, right? And many black women, some black women, I don't know how many black women find this disrespectful. Maybe they'll let me know in the comment section, but they find it as insulting that she's doing this act. Let's take a look.
You know why Kamala wants the mics turned on during the debate? Because she wants to cosplay as the sassy black woman. This is her strategy to win. Kamala wants the mics turned on so she can be the sassy black woman. And then when you go online, you go see everybody saying things like, oh, don't play with black women. Black women do this. Don't play with black women, don't play with black. That's her whole strategy to win. During the debate in 2020 with Mike Pence, every headline, every tweet, everybody was talking about how she was saying, I'm speaking, Mr. Pence, I'm speaking, more than any policy stance she had.
Mr. Vice President, I'm speaking. I'm speaking.
So I think I think the point was made there that she doesn't want in the debate. This is just me, my argument. She's not going to go for any policy. She's not going for substance here. She's just going to go for a moment. She's just going to go for like to look good. She's not actually going to do something that's actually good, right? You got people complaining Americans are being run out of their homes by illegal Venezuelan migrants in Massachusetts. This is in Boston, liberal place. I'm being run out of my apartment by illegal Venezuelans, illegals. Never thought that this issue would happen to me. Now I'm fucking wrong. I'm effing wrong. But I'm effing wrong. People are starting to realize how bad the immigration issue here is in America. And the fact that you got Kamala Harris trying to pretend that, the person in charge of the border and she's supposed to be the change agent. No, get out of here. You're going to vote for more of the same, America. If you vote for Kamala Harris, what you're experiencing now, you want more of. That's the incentive structure you're creating, American voters, if we reward Kamala Harris with the presidency. That she can only do one interview, one debate, limited access to her limited information. She could be politically vague. She could put out her policy position 2 days, a day before her debate with her rival candidate. This is the kind of things you're going to reward if you vote for Kamala Harris. Show me the incentives and I'll show you the outcomes. And this is how I predicted her collapse. Because in 2019, they talked about how Kamala Harris' campaign unraveled. Like, all you have to do is look at history. History gives you hints to what can happen in the future. Because at the end of the day, us humans, we're the same creature. The only thing difference is we have more time to learn. We stand on the shoulders of giants. We use the information from the previous generation as foundations for our decision makings for the future. That's what history is for. That's why I think studying history is very important, because you get to see a lot of the stuff that we fawn over, climate change, all that. This is not new. This has always been a thing. Climate change predictors are 0 for 71 right now. And you still want to believe they're next catastrophizing of, oh my God, it's a climate crisis. Oh, hottest year ever. Yeah, okay. You've been wrong 72 times. You haven't been right once. But I'm supposed to take your prediction as gospel. This is the track record of many people in the media. And that's why I said there's something flawed in our knowledge distribution. I see social media as knowledge distribution. And many of the reasons why I see such a heavy flaw in our knowledge distribution is because of censorship. It's because of the fact that people in power seems to want us ignorant. And I want to end off my video with this clip from Javier Milei, because I agree with everything he says right here about the way that the government in UK is operating in, and how I think the Democrats are trying to repeat the same thing here right now using big tech and a lot of their liberal donors who happens to run these big tech platforms like Google. I digress. Let's continue.
Since the socialists came to power, they have been jailing people for posting on social media. And the journalists here would like that too, because they don't like that they have lost the monopoly of the microphone and the ability to use that tool to extort and smear, to defame without any cause. Social media makes them accountable, and they don't like it. Stop searching. Ghosts, they're getting the same treatment they gave, but now people are doing it organically because they realized many of them are criminals. Since the socialists came to power.
I agree with everything he said. Like, this is what it is. It's organic. Like, this is organic. Like, something in me felt like, yo, Ken, you have all this political knowledge. You have all this information. Why not speak about it? Let's trade notes online. That's how I see this social media. This is how I see my channel. We're trading notes. Hey, here, this is what I'm thinking. Some people, like, I got some good book recommendations in the comment section. People share some of their information. Some people even give me information that made me change my mind on some issues, like education, right? There's a lot of power in us just coming together. And this is what they fear the most. I think the establishment fear the most is that we realize that the political division is exaggerated. The political division exists in journalism, this mainstream fabrication that they have. But many Americans, when you sit down and you talk, I think we're more united than we are divided. And I think it's a false perception. I think it's propaganda, this idea that we all are divided. I just think we're all in information silos and that they want to keep us this way. This was a part of the reason why they like censorship, because they can keep people in an informational bubble. And I believe Democrats are the most people stuck in an information bubble. Democrats are more likely to block people of alternative political opinions. They're more likely to unfriend somebody because of political differences, right? You got Democrat women not willing to date people of different political affiliations. Everything points to Democrats being the one that's in an information bubble. 58% of Democrats trust the mainstream media, while independents and Republicans, majority of them don't trust mainstream media. Like, it's obvious what's going on. 97% of journalists in the U.S. are Democrats, are registered Democrats. This is the point of censorship, to keep certain people in an information silos, and it seems like it's heavily affecting Democrats. But I digress. Let me know your thoughts in the comment section below. I would like to hear your guys' perspective on this matter. Don't forget to like, comment, subscribe. I appreciate you guys watching to the end of the video, and I'll catch you guys on the next one. Peace.